Alright, we're going to do it now. We're going to show you how to draw some simple faces. Now these faces won't be in detail like all the ones you see already on Facebook. They've taken time, I mean days and weeks, and a lot of times when I do a really important drawing, I either use a magnifying lens and get down to the nitty-gritty of it, or I put on a pair of reading glasses because I want to get down to the bare millimeter, and maybe I use a finer point pencil or something, you know, like a 0.5 or 0.7. But we're going to do it now. We're just going to show you how to do some basic faces. Now once you get the idea on how to do these faces, then you can, when you start doing details, you got the general idea. Now what we're going to look at too is when you draw a face, it's like drawing anything else. You can draw. Let's start on something simple here. Start on something simple first, and give you an idea what face is going. What kind of face. So I'm going to use some scratch paper here. First thing we got to realize is we want to start with a basic circle. Now as you can see, I'm just kind of sketching it out. This is how we're going to learn how. Okay, if you got the basic idea on how to draw a face, we're going to draw just a round circle. It doesn't have to be perfect. It could be a flattened ball. Okay. Now when I show people how to draw balls or circles, okay, we got to think about the light source. Where's the light source coming? Let's say the light source can be coming from here. Then you can't see the shadows too much. So we're going to have it coming from one direction or the other. And this is where realistically you'll have your details in, is because if we had no light at all, it'd be like that. Okay? You can't see anything. If we have too much light, it look like that. Okay? Real bright, and you can't see no shade and nothing. So really, and I got the camera to come back again. So we understand, too little light, it's black. Or no light at all, it's total black. So you need light to cast shadows. And that's really the biggest thing that you're capturing when you're working with pencil. And I always tell my students, you don't draw the highlights, you draw the shadows, because your paper's already white. So we're just going to draw on the shadows. So if we're going to look at the light source coming in from the top right corner here, that's what we're going to pretend it's coming in, okay? Then everything on this side of here will be lighter. So if we're going to, I'm just assert, you know, this is just a sketch. I'm going to put my light source right there. So everything down this way is going to be darker. So I can kind of, now I want to work with a circle here. I'm working with my arm. Now when we're in high school and college, especially college, you learn how to draw with your arm. And this is the biggest reason why I draw bigger. This is a standard 9x12, so this is kind of small for me. But everything from this light source on is going to get a little bit darker as it goes over. And I'm just going to go in circles now to kind of give you the idea that, hey, the farther I'm going, the darker it's going to be. Now, if you notice by going in circles too, I'm giving it more of the indication that it's a circular object anyway. Okay? You see, I'm just going now, as I go down further, I'm just going to rock my boat. This is how you draw with your arm. This is how real artists draw. They draw with the arm. And this is just a sketch. That's all this is. This ain't supposed to be detail. I want to give motion. We can see the motion going. And one thing about rounded objects, I can go this way, or I can go this other way too. So we got to go in there. That's where my light source is at. Now if I go this way, go up and down this way, I'm gonna kind of see. I'm going up this way. I'm going back around. And you notice the bottom part of here is getting darker. And we're going round and round, pulling it within there. Now this basic concept right here, it's basic, it's very basic, but this will give you an idea on how to draw faces, or drawing anything, is learning where the shadows fall. How does the shadows work? We got a light source here. That means also on the opposite side, it's what we call a direct light. Whatever's shining directly on it. Because we have direct light, on the opposite side we have the direct shadows. That's the darkest shadows. Okay? That's where the object, as a shadow, see, if you notice my shadow on the paper, My shadow from my hand is directly behind my hand because my hand is blocking the light, so therefore it's casting a shadow. As I get further away from the object, the second object, my shadow's getting getting blurrier. The closer I get into it, you can see the darker it gets. So the direct light here now, the direct shadow is darker. So we're going to have the direct shadow underneath here. Now we can just kind of go real easy with the pencil. Now we also got what they call an indirect light or reflective light. The biggest way we can describe a reflective light is what we call the moon. The moon does not have a light on its own. It reflects the light from the sun. So we use that analogy. We got direct light, we call it the sun. We got a reflective light, we can call it the moon. And this is just a real quick sketch to give you. Now where the reflective light is at, it's going to be right back here. Right underneath the darkest darks is you're going to have some reflective light. That kind of gives you indication that this object is round because the light source is hitting it here, but it's also hitting on the backside. That's like when you see the moon is a crescent moon, okay? Because it's still hitting it on the backside there, okay? So we got the darkest darks here. I'm gonna give it some more shadows. I can just kind of go in and get some shadows here. I'm just using a 0.9mm mechanical pencil. That's all I'm doing. Okay. And we can use erasers, but I'm going to show you how really to work without one. And doing this, you can start seeing where your direct light and reflective light is here. Your darkest shadows is going to be underneath here, right underneath the opposite side of the light. And you're going to have also indirect shadows, just kind of, it's not so dark there. And because I'm having this rounded object sitting on top of a flat object, I can go straight with my table. But I don't want to do the same thing on the ball. You notice the way I'm sketching the ball is I'm going around with it, feeling it. The biggest thing I tell people when you draw something is feel what you're drawing. Where you're going with what you're drawing. Your sketches don't have to be perfect. In fact, I just want you to try to relax and go with the direction. And it don't look like it's supposed to look. That's okay. We're just practicing. Now, we see how we do the direct light there. Now, the next thing I want to try to do